Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Celtic 4, St Mirren 0. Another win for Celtic. Our 100% home record stays the same, and an emphatic win, a good one. It was an enjoyable watch. I thought the game actually flew through tonight, and that's always the mark of a good game. So we're going to talk about it all. We're going to recap everything. As I sit here recording, it's 20 to 11, so I want to get this video up soon. We're literally going to fly through it tonight, so let's get into this. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, it would be much appreciated. Let's get into this then. Another big win for Celtic, following on from the success of the semi-final win at the weekend. We remain top of the table by that lovely 9-point gap. So yeah, not too much to complain about from tonight. You score 4 goals, you keep a clean sheet. What else could you ask for, really? Probably a game of football which isn't constantly disrupted by video assistant refereeing. That's probably what I'd ask. Do you know what? Just a quick one. I'm not even going to rant that much about VR tonight, but I just feel like you can't celebrate a goal anymore. I want rid of it. That was 3 out of the 5 goals that were scored in the game, obviously one being chopped off, that was checked by the VAR, which was halted for celebration. It just feels like it's sucking the life out of it, man. And sometimes there can be an excitement behind it. I feel like in European nights it's been a little bit more entertaining, probably just because of the magnitude of the game. But it's just sucking the life right out of it. But anyway, I'll try my best not to make this a video dedicated to ranting about VR for a change. A good win. And let's go right back to the start. Let's go to the team selection, because I think there was a couple of big things from tonight which really stood out in the team selection. Number one being the debut of Kobayashi. He was in the starting 11. Fantastic to see his name there, obviously coming in for Cameron Carter-Vickers, who dropped out the side this evening. And I thought he'd done a good job as well. Listen, one of those games that it's hard to judge a defender on when you're not really conceding chances against St Mirren at Parkhead on a Wednesday night. You know, it was going to be a quiet-ish game for him, but everything he had to do, he done. And he looked comfortable in the ball. And one thing that I really did pick up on from Kobayashi throughout the game as it went on, it's good to see a comfortable left footer on the left side of the defence. I like that. You can notice the difference, and we said that when we signed them. It is a very minute thing. It's something that is, you know, you can get on without it. Starfelt's done a fantastic job for the last year and a half playing there with his right foot, but it does make a difference. It just looks so comfortable at moving the ball out to the left-hand side. There was no second thinking. You'll see it more and more as time moves on, and how we build from the back, and how important it actually is to have a left footer over that side of the defence. But he was straight into the team today. We had a Wata on the bench, of course, so we didn't get a look at, but that was expected with Ange's comments pre-game of Georgios Giacomakis. Who knows? But that was the start of the team. At the start of the game, the team selection. Haxa back on the bench as well. He came on for a brief cameo towards the end. But let's talk about the first half. Celtic total control of the game. Quite a scare right at the start, of course. St Mirren getting a goal in the opening few minutes that was chopped off for offside. I never really got to calibrate myself to see what actually happened with the goal, but it was chopped off, and from that point on, Celtic just had complete control of the game, which was good to see. Abada, he got the opener after 15 minutes, and it kind of sucked what life St Mirren maybe had in the opening exchanges of the game. I think it probably came at a good time for us just to calm it down a little bit, because despite their goal, they still had a couple of chances moving forward with the ball, but I think that just totally knocked them out of the game, to be honest, knocked them off whatever stride they may have had going into the game. And it was good to see Abada back in the goals and back starting. You know, I was saying to Kieran Auld when we were, well, he said to me really, when we were walking towards the game, it feels like ages since we've seen the classic front three of Abada, KYOGO and Jota. That is the three of last season, the one that we knew and loved, and we kind of made our best attacking three. But with Maidan, the runner form that he's been on, it's been hard for Abada to get in and get starts in this team. But it was good to see him starting today. It was good to see him amongst the goals. We know how good a player he is. And of course, there is all this kind of talk that teams are monitoring him down south. It would be nice to get him tied down to a longer contract, because he shows that tonight, the quality he can offer. He's so direct in what he does. And it was good to see him in. KYOGO, he just keeps scoring, doesn't he? He made it 2-0 in the second half. He's just a brilliant wee player, isn't he? The goal was lovely as well. He lobs the keeper. You know, we are sad to see Giacomakis go. I know I certainly am, and I know a lot of you share the same sadness, but it makes it easier to accept when you know the quality that KYOGO has. And his form since the return of the World Cup has been unbelievable. He's been so good. He's just got. I think he'll go on to get that golden boot. To be honest, he's just every opportunity, his movement, everything. We don't need to rehash the same things about Kyogo. We all know the player he is now, but the way that he just lobs the keeper and gets into the right place at the right time, just brilliant. Just love him. I love him so much. Still had glimpses of that kind of hard luck as well in the first half, didn't we? With chances being saved by the keeper, hitting the post as well. It just seems so typical now that, we could be winning games 7, 8, 9-0 probably. There's not putting that past us. We've already done it on occasion this season up at Dundee United, of course. But, this is what happens when you create so many chances. You're bound to hit the post. You're bound to see the keeper saving, making good saves. It's just typical. But we rounded off the first half really well. I thought we ended it well. Went into the break in a very comfortable position. It was just a typical Ange Postecoglou performance, really. Second half just picked up where we left off, I suppose. KYOGO as well and the goals again. Second one very quick into the start of the second half. And it could have had a hat-trick. It could have had a hat-trick. And this is, I know the goal was chopped off that Forrest scored anyway, right? But I just love that that's the unselfishness of the team that we have. The way that we work together as a unit is brilliant, because so many players on this planet would have had the chance that KYOGO did, and they would have took it for themselves. They would have shot, offside or no. They would have shot. They would have tried to get their hat-trick there and then, but he slips it off to Forrest, and we could have been 4-0 up at that point. And it was very ungreedy, and it just says a lot. A brilliant performance from KYOGO. He was easily man of the match in tonight's game. It was one of those ones he chose violence, it seemed. He wanted to be on the score sheet. I'm kind of sad that he never got his hat-trick, to be honest, but here we are. 2 goals will do. I'm not going to complain. And then obviously finished off with a fantastic strike from David Turnbull, who has been itching for a goal, I bet, and he'll be. I'm kind of relieved to see him get it, because Turnbull's been in a weird sort of purgatory almost, where obviously he struggled with injury for a good portion of the season, but he's probably been forgotten about in a way, not by the manager, who's certainly within his plans, but by us, because we've been so much on the Moy train, the Hatate train, the O'Reilly train, that Turnbull's kind of become an afterthought, not meaning that in a disrespectful way, because he's a player that has so many qualities, but just because he's been out and he's only been getting subbed on here and there, you always forget that he's actually there. And of course we've brought in a Wata now as well, so it's a very competitive midfield. But that goal tonight is a reminder of what he can do, almost resembling to the COVID season, where he was scoring goals from outside the box and kind of giving us that joy. Tonight, not as poor a season, of course, back then, but giving us that joy of a wee goal from outside the box. And I love that, because I miss the long shots. I miss scoring goals from outside the box. We have a system, we have a plan, and it works really well, but sometimes I like a good long ranger, and that's what David Turnbull gave us tonight. So I was happy to see him in the score sheet. It's good to see players like him and Haksabanovic coming in and getting a run in when their time has been limited due to stuff like injuries. So I'm really happy with that. And yeah, in general, not many negatives from tonight's game, is there? A couple of dodgy moments. I think Starfelt played a couple of slack passes, and the goal that we did concede that was chopped off was questionable. But, apart from, the wee minor things that didn't lead to much, we were pretty comfortable in what we've done tonight, and we can't complain. Very quickly, for anyone interested in the manager's comments, he said, "I thought it was a really strong all-round performance. We did all the aspects of our game pretty well tonight, and we started the game well. They have some threats, particularly from long throws that you have to defend in the box, and I thought we handled it well. It was 4 excellent goals, and we had some great moves that didn't end in goals." So, lovely. We head into now the Scottish Cup tie with Morton at the weekend with very high spirits. Hopefully another win at Celtic Park to keep the good times rolling. You can't beat it. Right, okay, I'm now going to beat it. I'm going to get this video uploaded before a new day dawns. I'll see you next time.